Good morning and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our next video in our employment and employment process. Now, this video is going to be a little different than my others because I'm actually not going to cover all of the information here on the screen, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you two videos in regards to what your body language says about you in general, and of course what your body language more specifically says about you when you are at a job interview. Okay, so this applies to us in real life, and some of the things apply in real life in our normal going abouts, but everything is focused on the video or on the job interview itself. Now, the first video you're going to see is from Forbes. And if you don't know who Forbes is a publisher who focuses on business, money, and finance, and making good business decisions and following business trends, so on and so forth. All right, very reputable source. And the other video, it's a little bit more of a comedic approach, a lot of comedy in there. So what you'll see in there is a lot of comedy, and it's from Britain. So the humor might be a little bit different than what we're used to, but there's some really, really funny and poignant things that are being said in there. And by poignant, I mean straight to the point, very important, but of course, it's delivered with a side of humor. So I hope you enjoy these two videos, and then when you catch me on the next round, we'll actually dive into the materials here. So think about things before the interview, then we're going to look at things about during the interview, and of course after the video. So step back and enjoy these videos.
So often we make business contacts by telephone, by email, through social media. It may be months or even years before we meet. When we do, we've made a good first impression, but then our body language kicks in. Does it help us or hurt us? Christine Yonke's going to talk about that with us.
I'm looking forward to meeting Deborah for the first time in person. And here are the things that I'll be looking for in terms of how I draw or form that initial impression. Number one, eye contact. Does she look at me directly? Two, what is the quality of her voice? Does it sound inviting? No doubt we'll shake hands, so I'll be feeling for the firmness of her handshake. And then finally, what does she say? What is her opening message to me? Can't wait to meet Deborah.
Well, I'm so glad that we could do this. I'd like to talk a little bit about the things that people do to help their case or hurt their case when they finally meet someone after making that connection by email, by phone, through social media. And when you and I spoke on the telephone, you mentioned that the voice is the one thing that carries over both from the phone to person. So let's start with that, and how does what people do with their voices help them or hurt them?
If there's any element of how we present ourselves that's overlooked by most people, it is the quality of your voice. But the starting point is knowing how you sound. Does your voice project confidence? Is the tone warm? Does it have resonance? Or on the other hand, could your voice etch glass? A common mistake, and it's not even so much a mistake, but it's more of just a function of nerves. If you are a junior person and maybe interviewing for a first job, it's not unexpected that you might speak more quickly. Your pace may be too quick, but to know that if you lower the tone of your voice a little bit, that literally adds more meaning to your words. A lower tone sounds more substantive, and what you're talking about sounds more important. So when you meet someone for the first time, I think the things that are really important are, number one, eye contact. So I was looking to see, would you look me in the eye? And you did. And that was a very positive signal. When you're talking about something that's really important to you, don't look away mid-sentence, but hold your eye contact until the end of the sentence or the end of the thought.
What if we need a little break to look down at some point? When can we do that?
Yeah, you do get to blink. Not blinking is a little zombie-like. That will look a little odd to the person that you're talking to. So absolutely, you want good steady eye contact. What you don't want to do is the eyes up towards the ceiling as if the answers are hidden there. Shifty eyes back and forth, darting. which makes you look very nervous, or constant up and down. So good steady eye contact. You know, you need to break away a little bit, and when you want to take a real pause, go ahead and look down in a substantive way.
How about our hands? The first thing we did was to shake hands.
You're sending a signal with that handshake. And there's nothing worse than someone who grabs a hold of your hand and hangs on too long and pumps and pumps and pumps. Or I think second worse, and I think women are a little bit more guilty of that, the little finger clasp.
Like a fish.
Yeah, just like, or a cold fish at the worst, right? Not good.
And posture? What's the difference and what should we be doing?
Well, you want to have good posture just like your mother always told you to. The trick is to drop your shoulders back, and that will give you a nice presence. And then notice how I'm tilting forward from the waist a little bit. This is a very interactive posture. I'm signaling to you that I'm engaged, I'm interested in what you have to say, and again, it's conversational.
There's so much good information here. What's the one thing you would like people to take away from all of this?
Good steady eye contact and good posture, and you'll create a great first impression.
So, you're off to your job interview. Looking good, hotshot. It's not just about having the right gear, though. Maintaining good body language will help you secure that job interview and make the right impression, without saying a word. You're not hungover, you're wearing tidy attire, and you've made the effort to polish your shoes. It's a good start. Your manner and your dress sense certainly say a lot about you, but your body language can still let you down. Here's what you need to know before you walk into that interview room. It's always difficult greeting someone for the first time. A little aggressive. Your interviewer knows you want the job, so don't astound them with an overconfident gesture. Avoid nose flicking, high fives, air kisses or jazz hands. Play it simple and mirror their handshake grip to avoid dominant vibes. The interviewer will show you to your chair. This is the all-important hot seat, and the way you sit conveys a lot of information. Take a moment to position and get comfortable. But not too comfortable. Look relaxed. It encourages your interviewer to feel at ease in your company. However, no matter how informal the discussion, avoid slouching. You're not at home watching the telly now. An interview is not the time to come over all shy and retiring. Folding the arms across your chest or turning the shoulders away conveys a nervous, negative or even aggressive attitude. That's it. Use your upper torso to define an open and honest attitude. Keep the back straight and tilt slightly forward to demonstrate interest.
And yeah. So that's it.
Children cover their mouths when they're telling lies.
Yeah.
As we get older, this subconscious habit turns into nose touching, cheek brushing, or the tweaking of the tool shed.
But,
If you're stroking the nose, caressing sideburns, or chin scratching, these actions can make your interviewer feel suspicious. Right. Avoid touching your face by keeping your hands interlocked or relaxed in your lap. It's important to concentrate during your interview. Stop constant eye movement or repetitive looks to the floor or ceiling. By moving the eyes around the room, you risk looking devious, apprehensive, or just plain bored. Give your interviewer your full attention. Look and listen. During the interview, don't transfer your butterflies into reflexes like fidgeting.
And
Watching your legs perform a neat rendition of river dance under the table is one distraction the interviewer doesn't need.
Management training.
Channel nerves into simple yet elegant hand gestures to endorse what you say. Yes, that's a nice tie. But obsessive touching or grooming of your garments conveys an element of boredom or distrust. Even if you're certain there's a speck on your clothes, leave it alone. No one else will notice but you. Keep your eye contact true and steady. But remember to blink. An interview can be intense, so avoid adopting a serial killer stare. Instead, create an imaginary triangle on your interviewer's face and look within that zone. Try not to drop your gaze below the triangle though. Any further south and things start to get a little intimate.
But you know how
Crossing your legs during the interview is agreeable. and will not appear as defensive as crossing your arms.
Yeah.
It's useful if you point to the interviewer with your knees or your feet. This will help you position your body so you're focused on them alone. But don't overdo it. Being physically expressive as you speak shows confidence in what you're saying. Use your hands to roll out answers or give shape to your ideas. That's it. The interviewers think you know what you're talking about. However, don't exaggerate the gestures. You're not breaking moves at the local discotheque. And avoid finger pointing. Instead, motion with your hands palm up, as this signifies an offering gesture. Perfecting your body language requires practice in a pressure situation, so try to train yourself as much as possible. Doing so will help you iron out awkward habits and prevent clumsy moments.
Love it. Great interview, guys. Cheers. See you later.
Well done, you nailed it. Hang tight, your career just might be taking off.